All right. It's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. The appearance of naivete. He who poses as a fool is not a fool. Balthazar Gracian. Those who claim to be non-players may affect an air of naivete to protect them from the accusations that they are after power. Beware, however, for the appearance of naivete can be an effective means of deceit, and even genuine naivete is not free from the snares of power. Children may be naive in many ways, but they often act from an elemental need to gain control over those around them. Children suffer greatly from feeling powerless in the adult world, and they use any means available to get their way. Genuinely innocent people may still be playing for power and are often horribly effective at the game, since they are not hindered by reflection. Daily law. Those who make a show or display of innocence are often the least innocent of all. That's from the preface of the 48 Laws of Power. The appearance of innocence. Nobody's innocent. Everybody has an angle. Oh man, yeah, this is very full. Moly, she wasn't joking. Pretty tired. I had all kinds of dreams again last night, and then just none of them stick. And even at the end of the dream I was having, just as my alarm went off, like it was incorporated into my dream. And I remember in my dream thinking, oh shit, I gotta get up. And then it just like fades away, the dream. And then I wake up, and then the dream is gone. I can't even remember what the heck I was dreaming. It's so weird. It's very interesting, all that mechanism of the mind. Well, I'm barely awake, so I have no idea what the heck I want to talk about. I can't even think. Alright. Let's go do something. Somewhere. Okay. And off we go. The appearance of naivete. I guess I've done that. It is actually a really good tactic to play dumb. Like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, it can actually get you pretty far. I've done this. How can I give an example? It's actually a bold move. It's a way to get you like pretty far. Like, what it is, it's being sneaky. Like you pretend like if you're at a store and you see long line, you pretend, oh, I didn't know it was a line, or whatever. I am so not awake. I feel it in my mind. So there'll be lots of silent gaps as my brain comes online. I had a great day with the dogs yesterday. It was very pleasant. Bunch of fun little friends. And then one of my coworkers asked me if I would ever have a cat. I'm like, yeah, I used to have a cat. That started me all down that road of thinking, reminiscing about those days, which aren't the best days. But it happened. Everybody get up on the freeway. Everybody move. Still holding my garage door. I did that on a whole ride once. Forgot to put it away. I'm just holding it in my hand. There. Oh man. And then somebody was locked out of the building for God knows how long. That kept me up. Because the door to the front of the place I live is like a big glass door. I could hear them banging on it, hitting it, rattling it. I don't know how long that was going on for, but it was a while, and that kept me up for a while. Maybe that's why I'm so friggin' tired. I'm not gonna let him in. I don't know who that is. I mean, what if that's somebody who's trying to get in so they can kill somebody? Like, oh, come on in. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's why I'm so tired. That went on for a while. That must be an awful feeling. Be locked out like that. Yeah, my mind kind of didn't come online long enough to think of anything interesting to say. It's gonna be one of those days. It's gonna be interesting to see because I'm looking at this new BMW in front of me right now. I can tell by the brake lights. It's like a new X, or like an X5, or an iX5, whatever they're called now. It's their SUV. But anyways, it's going to be interesting to see where all this technology goes when it's, or what they're going to do with older cars, how they're going to require, they're eventually going to require older cars to not be on the road. And all this technology with the facial recognition software and the AI integration and just the high level of biometric tracking. It's really real interesting to see what they do with older cars. That's what I'm really interested in. You're gonna see a lot of people wearing it, or will it even work? Because like I'm the type of person that just tries to avoid all that stuff. I don't want to be like, how far does this go? Like, first it's in your car, right? All this tracking stuff. How far into the future is it until it's in your home? Like, forced to be in your home. Like, we know, like, your TVs have cameras in them now that are kind of watching you to a certain degree. I think they have stuff like that. And your computer has a camera and all that stuff, whatever. But how far off into the future is it until, like, the biometric tracking of people is, like, required in all homes? For your safety, of course. You know? Right? Because that's how it's in all the new cars. Oh, so, drunk drivers can't get behind the car because, it's tracking everything you're doing, so it can tell whatever. Or maybe, like, they'll use it to, just in case someone steals your car, it has to recognize that it's you behind the wheel. So they just can't steal a car. See, it's for your safety. So all these things are sold to you under the guise of safety and convenience for you, of course. Not for them. Why would it be convenient for them? Well, this is all for you. Okay? We do this for you. First, the priming mechanism for the mind to accept this is your car. Oh yeah, I don't want anybody to just steal my car. That sounds like an awesome feature. And then, of course, all the self-driving auto, stuff. Everybody's somewhat on their phone anyways. Oh yeah, I just want my car to drive itself. Imagine I could just be on my phone and I don't have to worry. It's all automated. This is how they sell this stuff to you. That's fine. It's for your car. Next step is in your home. Right? Something like that. Right? Like the front door locks. They already have like those Nest cameras or whatever. They'll have like, and they'll sell it. They'll sell it to you as like the outside of your home, like your lock, your keys to get in or whatever. What if somebody steals your keys, right? Or they know where you live. Let's just say it's like an ex-husband or an ex-wife or an ex-something or other who's like angry and upset for whatever reason. They're trying to kill you. You could just biometrically lock them out. Doesn't even matter if they have keys. Camera recognition and the AI integration denies them access. See, for your safety. That's how it goes. And then every room, right? Every room could turn into a safe room. Right? No, it's actually your room. Ooh, that's actually a good one. See, because now when they start forcing everybody to just be renters to the point where you can't even rent an apartment, now you're just renting a room. It's all going to shrink down to the point where you just have a room. It used to be, studio apartment. Nope. All these, they'll be forced to have person units under the guise of, it's just to support the size of a family. For now it's all, you get to have your little 10 by 10 room. All the security and biometric entry mechanisms available. No one can get into my room. I remember when it started with the cars. Back in 2027. Remember that scene in Fifth Element? Like something was happening next door. I forget what it was. And Bruce Willis has to put his hands on like these two circles that were on the wall. He barely had to assume the position up against the wall in his own home. And then he had to say like a certain phrase. That's coming. I guess there was something going on. I forget why. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I love that movie. But there was something going on where he lived, and there was like next door. But the whole building was put on lockdown. He was up against the wall with his hands on the wall. I am a meat popsicle. That's what he said. Something like that. I'd probably have you come up with your own custom phrase that only you know, and that is digitally matched to the cadence and sound of your voice, the waveform that your voice produces. It's got to match. That way we know you're you. And then if there's some sort of emergency, there's a secondary phrase you'll say. That way they know you're in trouble, or you're being held hostage, or whatever. Yep. Fifth Element. That movie was way out in the future. I don't remember how far the year is. I should actually look that up. That'd be interesting to see how much of what's in that movie is going on now. Obviously, the flying car isn't happening. Flying cars will never happen. In my lifetime. Let's just say that. What is that? Is my cup? That is my cup. Making that rattle. Oh, this truck behind me. I'm going 65. You can just piss off. It's actually a great movie. Anybody watch that Fifth Element? It's like me and my woman. She's Lulu. But anybody's seen that? That's my woman is my Lulu. I'm okay with that dynamic. I'm glad they didn't ruin that movie with a sequel. Oh. I was trying to think, like, I don't remember the context of the movie. Like, what is the fifth element? Like, there's the fourth, right? Fire, water, earth, and air are the four elements. And it's either metaphorically like the spirit or like the animating principle of all things. The experience itself, I guess, could be thought of as the fifth element. Like, because the four are the, like, are like what sustains life, right? Fire, water, earth, and air. That is the foundation of the sustainment of life. And I guess the fifth would be, they kind of allude to it as it being like love. Like the loving cultivation of the four is what sustains all. And I guess that could be seen as true, but if that's the case, then there's a sixth element. The sixth element would be what I said before, the animating principle that runs through all of it. That would be God. But since that is the foundation, the ultimate foundation, that would have to be moved into the most prominent position, would be the first element. Who knows? You know, it's interesting when you think about like flying cars. Like, I don't think there'll ever be like actually like roads in the air for like just the average person, like I'm driving now, but like in the air. But if you think about it, I mean, I'm technically in the air right now, right? I'm I mean, the car itself is touching the ground, but I'm disconnected from the ground. So in essence, I myself am actually flying right now. It's an interesting thought if you think about it. Like, visualize that person in the car, like next to you while you're driving, just sitting but moving. Right? The tires are full of air. There's like a element of flight taking place, even though you're just in a car. Like, if you weren't in a sitting position and you were like laying down in like a Superman position, you would feel like you're flying. Like people on motorcycles, you know, especially like those street bikes, not like a Harley where you're kind of like more in a sitting position, but those street bikes where you're like really forced into like sitting forward onto the bike, that must really feel like flying. I can see where that could be an attractive means of transportation. especially for somebody like me who likes to really, really drive. That would be fantastic. I will never get one because I'll kill myself. But up until the moment of death, that would be amazing. Who knows? Now that I just said that, we fear death. And I know this is going to sound so morbid saying it, but the experience of death, for all we know, might be a great feeling. I don't know it's just the process of the body dying is, withering away and decaying as age comes on. That's a horrible feeling, I guess. And the fear of knowing you're going to die, but actually dying, might feel great. I don't want to die for anybody watching this. I have no. I'm too interested in this experience of life to want that. But no one died. No one knows. It's not like everybody's come back and told us. Actually, people have come back from the dead. That's not true. I should actually look that up. People have died and then come back to life, or at least have been thought of as clinically dead. Or like drowning cases, or people heart stopped for who knows how long. Clinically they're dead, but then for whatever reason they came back to life. I wonder what stories they have to tell. I've heard some interesting ones, like I've heard stories of people like talking to family members who have passed away already, and people telling them like, you're not supposed to be here. It's not your time to be here. You have to go back. Just interesting stuff like that. But who knows? I mean, who knows if that's real? That's the thing. That the mind just like coming up, putting things together like a dream. Like all these dreams I wake up from not remembering. That just happens to be one that they remember as they came back to life. That their mind put together because they, somewhere in their consciousness, they knew they died. So their mind put together all kinds of stuff. Who knows? All trucks stop at Scales. There. All trucks. That means you. Alright, this is my exit. I did my part. stick a put on my headstone. I did my part. And then underneath it, who knows? You can't tell, I think about death a lot. I think you're supposed to be honest. I think all these things, like all these mental distractions of modern living, is to keep you from thinking about your own death. Because, like, way back in the day, when you're like hunter-gatherer, type situations, that was like a primary thought, staying alive. Now it's so easy to stay alive, you don't even think about death. I don't know that that's a good thing. So I don't know if it's even morbid for me to think about death as much as I do. I think you're supposed to be thinking about death. Not only does it make you feel more alive and cherish the moment you have that you're living, it just seems, I don't know, something about that seems like a healthier way to be. No one wants to think about their own death. No one wants to think about the one thing that is guaranteed. Okay. So maybe I'm not as crazy as I thought I was. And again, it's not like I want to. I'm not definitely not going to rush towards my death. But like I said, it's a guarantee. There's no avoiding that. And nobody wants to think about it? That's crazy. Now that I said it. I don't know. Who knows? All right. I am safe. I have arrived at my destination. What did I talk about? I don't even remember. A bunch of stuff. Fifth Element, death, be naive. Be naive about death. Ooh, don't be naive about death. You have to look at it in the face and smile. All right, go to work.